You ready for this?
I've never been more ready for anything in my whole life.
Hi,
how are you?
Josh.
Hey, Josh, how are you, man?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this film and how you crafted the script, or what were some of the original parts of your inspiration?
My inspiration was that a very close friend of mine overdosed and died. My favorite actor ever overdosed and died, and a family member nearly died. And I wanted to make something urgent and necessary that was a love story about a very hard thing.
And so you wrote, produced, and directed this film?
Yes, that's right.
So what is like doing those three roles? Was it easy to get through all that, or was some challenges?
It was not as hard as it would be if I didn't love it, and I didn't love this story, and I didn't feel this higher purpose. So I had a great time.
So have you been enjoying your stay in Savannah?
Oh, unbelievably. Yeah. I've been here a day. I called my wife. I said, I know where we're moving. She's, where are the pictures? I'm like, I was on a bike ride. I didn't take pictures. I think this is the most beautiful town I've ever been in my life.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
Again. Yeah.
Okay, take care.
So this film is kind of a heavy film. Tell me, like, what made you want to get involved in telling this story?
It was a story that a friend of mine I went to college with wrote the story, and she was looking for a producer, and she's like, do you want to do it? We've got the money. And I asked how much, and I'm like, where's it coming from? And she said that her family was putting up the money for it, and I was like, I need to talk to them because this is a huge risk, and there's no guarantees you're going to see your money back, no matter how great the film is. And they were all down, and we had our casting director, Mary Vernew, just did A Star Is Born, and she did the Star Wars movies, so she got us an amazing cast. And Jenica, our director, just put the movie on her shoulders, and we just ran and took off and shot it in 10 days, made a feature in 10 days.
Wow, that's fast. Yeah. What is the heart of the story?
It's about a soldier who loses his best friend in the war, and it was his fault that his friend died. And so he comes back to America to find his widow and kind of tell her what happened, what went wrong, and in the meantime, he winds up falling in love with her. And she has a brother who has Down syndrome, and they become really close friends. So he keeps getting deeper and deeper into problems, and without coming clean. So it's about him coming clean to the widow about what really happened in Afghanistan. So.
Oh, wow, a story that rings true for a lot of people.
Yeah, and so she lost her mother to cancer, so she's dealing with the PTSD as well. So there's the soldier with PTSD and the woman who lost her mother. So it's like two souls with PTSD kind of coming together. So
you've shot some other films in Savannah?
I shot a film called Beast of Burden with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
We made that in 16 days. I felt like we were in the swamp for 16 days at night. Like I don't really know where we were, but we were somewhere in a swamp, and we stayed at the Bryce, and we'd come in at 6 a.m. just covered in mud, and the hotel was like, welcome back, film crew covered in mud, guys. We tried to clean off as much as we could, but it was, Daniel was such a pro, and it was the crews were great here, and we always want to come back.
What do you think about our burgeoning film scene? Like, it's grown quite a bit in Georgia.
It's amazing. Like, I was walking to get picked up to go to set, and I saw like these 6 guys on the corner on Bay Street, and it looked like they were selling drugs. I'm like, oh, a drug deal's going right there. And they had flashcards. They were exchanging out the cards for the cameras. It was a camera crew, but it just it looked like a drug deal was going down. So you could just tell that, there were a lot of people looking for grip crews and electric crews, and they were all on shows. I think when we were here, there were 6 films and a TV show. I think the TV show was about the slave underworld. for WGN, but that was filming here
Yeah,
too. So
it was last year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Cool.
but
Thank you.
great crews and great environment and great facilities. So it's really cool. So,
Thank you so much.
pleasure.
Really
Great to be here.
appreciate it.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Josh, congratulations on everything. It's exciting. So I know that before this film, your debut, you did a lot of stage work, right?
Yes, I did.
Theater. So tell me a little bit about some of the challenges of doing your first film, and moving from stage.
The hardest part was letting things go. In theater, if you have a weird performance or some scene was a little off, you can be like, oh, okay, I'll fix that the next night. Well, you don't get to do that in film. It's like, well, girl, that's what you did, so that's what you got. So that was the biggest transition.
What was it like working with Barry and coming in this?
Man, working with Barry was amazing. He's just so sensitive and attentive to what each of us as individual artists need, and he was also so patient because I was learning so much, trying to learn as fast as I can, but sometimes I did silly stuff, and he was just so patient.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, looks like an incredible film, an incredible story. How familiar were you with this story before? It's a Baldwin book, right?
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with this book until I was preparing to audition for it, and it was actually the first novel of his that I had read. I had only seen his online content, interviews, and things like that.
Interesting. So what were some things that jumped out at you while you were learning the script and the story?
It was amazing to me, Baldwin's ability to speak about injustice and issues that we're facing, especially in the Black community, is just so, he really had a gift for that. But with this story, what I also got to see was this gift he has of talking about love and how at the core of this story, that's what it's actually about. And I thought that was amazing.
That's awesome. First time in Savannah, what's been your favorite part?
I got to walk by the river, and that was really, really nice. I think that was my favorite part of just seeing all the history. It's just all the history is right there, all the historical markers, all these. Why are you always messing with me? I'm trying to do my interview.
That's awesome. Congratulations again.
Thank you, guys.
No, I was trying to hold it in. I'm very excited. I'm a little starstruck.
No worries.
Thank you so much. So I saw the film in Toronto. It was fantastic. And
Thank you, bro.
I'm curious, as shifting from Moonlight, it seemed like this one had a little bit more verite. I saw a little bit of Agnes Vardas and Charles Burnett in it. I mean, what was kind of the goal for you, kind of going into this one, trying to separate it a little bit from the Moonlight?
It wasn't about separating it from Moonlight. Terrell McCraney and James Baldwin just created very different narratives. And these are both adaptations, so I had source material to work from. It was really just about finding the proper aesthetic for this film, which, because the story form is so different, manifested itself a bit differently than Moonlight.
Definitely. Now you're returning to Savannah. You were here a couple of years ago with Moonlight. What's it been like? Kind of coming back. Have you seen any improvements?
It's been awesome, man. Improvements. I mean, I don't think there's much to improve. It's a lovely town. The weather's amazing, and despite how small it is, you can tell that I think cinema, whether it's my film or The Hate You Give, I ran into Julian Schnabel last night. It's just, I think the audience here is just hungry for stories from a wide range, and so it feels really lovely to be back.
Well, I know you're going to be doing the Underground Railroad show for Amazon. You're welcome to come here. We have a vibrant filming community, so.
Yeah. I've been keeping my eyes open for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.